Hello everyone, my name is Christian Chua, and if you're in the financial services industry, you need to watch this program. It is about why your candidate leaves after staying for a while. There are 6 different categories why your agents, after all your hard work trying to recruit them, they seem to leave. And it costs money for recruitment, isn't it? You spend thousands of dollars and you know how much each head count costs. And then after putting even more effort in trying to nurture them, they leave. So today I'm going to share with you 6 reasons why they leave. I've been speaking in the financial services industry close to 3 decades, and this is supposed to be a seminar content, but I've decided to give it to you all as part of my gift for the industry who has helped me in no small measure, helped in my career. I'm going to share with you 6 different character types. If you like to replay this video, you know that there are markers in this YouTube timeline which makes it very easy for you to understand a particular character type. Okay, so without further ado, let's get started. So the first category I like to talk about is called the wrong fit straddler. And these are people whom you hired, but eventually you found out that it's just a wrong fit. The talents are in the wrong places. They have talents, but perhaps it's for something else. They are also socially awkward when it comes to this industry. It's just not the right fit, or they have limited processing abilities. So what do we mean by this? When you talk about wrong talent fit, there are people who might be better at salsa dancing, and that's that inner talent and that's that inner love. But somehow the recruitment drive was so enticing, this salsa dancer decided to be an agent. But at the job, they are very distracted. They want to go back to their first love. That's basically what we call the wrong fit. And there are some that want to be a financial consultant, but socially, they don't seem to fit in. They are either angry or they say the wrong things at the wrong time. And despite lots of training, it's just the wrong fit. And the third type is, well, they might have limited processing abilities, if I could carefully say that. And no matter how you try to train them, they just don't get it. Okay, so these are what we call the wrong fit straddlers. You try and you try and you try to train them, but it's just not working out. So why did they join the insurance in the first place? As I said, number 1, they might have been very attracted by the great career seminar that you are put forward, promising them unlimited potential income, freedom of time, no fixed workplace. So all these things are very attractive, and you paint a vision for them that's so enticing that they decided to sign up. The hirer, which is you, might have noticed that this candidate could be the wrong fit, but you hire anyway. Few simple reasons. You want the numbers. You think you can transform these people. You tried, but it just didn't work out. Last reason why they would have joined is the candidate is desperate. Okay, so they don't know whether they can make it, but they need the money. You promise to guide them, so they join. So what happens now? They join the industry. You spend enormous amount of effort and money and try to make it work out, and it didn't. So what do? I'm going to say something that will sting. Deep down, you need to let this person go, but somehow you needed to hear it from me. The more effort you put in, you're actually neglecting the effort that you could put on other consultants that could help them in their career. So at some point, you need to cut your losses and say, you got to part ways with this group of people. Now, don't worry, the other 5 groups, I'm not going to give you the same advice. If everyone is to part ways, then eventually you go bankrupt in terms of your headcount. For this type of person, continuous investing in excessive time and leadership in such cases will divert your resources and your attention on the other parts of your business. So for that, maybe it's time for you to cut loss. The second category I like to talk about is the diligent underperformer. Now, this is a great catch. This candidate is a great catch. They are obedient. They do exactly what you tell them to do. They do their cold calls. They do their follow-ups. They are diligent when it comes to roadshow. You ask them to do role plays. They practice everything. But at the end of the day, there is just no results to show. Now you're getting frustrated and they are getting frustrated. But why does this happen? This seems like the ideal candidate. Okay, so the first thing is you want someone who's obedient and someone who will take instructions. And these are the people. But these people are almost 100% followers. Okay, they follow your instruction, but they may not have that critical thinking abilities. Let me explain in a moment. They may appear mechanical and rehearsed because this is what I was instructed to do and now I'm carrying it out. But they constantly need your guidance and rely on your mentorship instead of their own abilities. Okay, now what do we do with such demographics of people? They possess very commendable attitude, and this is what a dream candidate should be. But in order for them to be successful, you will need now to tailor specific coaching and training programs for them. Go back to what I earlier said, they are more followers and they're not critical thinkers. So why are they not able to close the deal? Because they do not have the sharpness of a salesperson. It sounds like, those type of calls that you get. Hello, sir, I'm from where, how are you today? The inflection of the voice sounds rehearsed, they don't sound natural. So at some point, the client feels uncomfortable with such candidates and they don't feel the authenticity. So this is what you need to train them. To be a bit sharper, to respond on the go, think on their feet. Do not use one-size cookie-cutter script to close every deal, but to be natural, to be experienced, and to clinch the deal. So what these people need are individual coaching, because group coaching will not be able to highlight their pain points, highlight their trouble areas. So if you can customize training programs for such people, you might just be able to turn them around. If you have been trying already, as you're listening to this video and you say, Christian, I've already tried this and it didn't work. Perhaps you have reached the limit of what you can do for this person, and maybe a different match, a different coach could help out this person. So think about it and try it. The third category of people I would like to talk about is called the discontented achiever. Now don't get me wrong, these people are already doing well. You would love that they stay forever because the overriding is great, but somehow they start verbalizing the intention to leave and do something bigger. They're making money, they're making good money in industry standard, but they are aiming bigger. Now these are high achievers. Then they're dissatisfied with what they currently have. They're exploring alternatives like maybe going to real estate or selling plots of land. I don't know, doing something bigger. So why is this happening? Now you need to first understand the demographics of such people. They are high achievers. They are extremely competitive. They need to accomplish things in order to feel satisfied. And that's the reason why they have that rocket boost and they perform very, very well. Okay, but each milestone that they've achieved the MDRT, the TOT, the COT, and then they say, what's next? Okay, so they want to go outside because they say, no, this is getting too easy for me. In order to preserve such gold mines, such golden goose in your industry, you need to have a strategic plan for them. Often, listen very closely, often if you make these people hang around people 5 times their net worth, 10 times their net worth, and they're speaking at a different level, they go, oh my, I'm not at that level yet. I aspire to be these people in the industry. And then they have this empty void that, hey, I've not accomplished this. They probably do not feel like they want to leave the career yet, because deep down, the psychological thing is that they might feel that they failed. They didn't complete the whole journey, so they failed. So if you could continuously give them career goals, short-term, mid-term, long-term, you should be able to preserve them for a while. And after a while, they get so comfortable in running the business, and perhaps when the situation has changed, they are now more mature with a family and they want a bit more stability. Yeah, they may not think about leaving. I hope that works for you. The fourth category of people I would like to talk about is the les miserables. These are people who come to the office with droopy eyes, low energy, tears are filling up their eyes. They're constantly in a struggle, trying to contain some emotional pain. Frequently, you see them distressed, crying even, because they have relationship issues. It could be with their spouse, with their children, with their in-laws, could be I don't know, a illness, whatever. Why are these people having this? Number one, they are genuinely facing some problems. So as a leader, try to find out what it is, because it has always got to be restoration before performance. Can I say that again? Restoration before performance. If I'm a coach of a group of athletes, I will first ask them, is anybody suffering from any kind of pain or physical issues? So if you have a torn ligament or a sprained leg, obviously go see the physio, chiro, bone adjustment, bone setting, whatever. Okay, restoration before performance. And in this case, that's exactly what you want to do. If you see that this particular candidate has the potential to yield really good returns for you, why not just stop, invest a bit of time and find out what's happening? So number one, the candidate really have issues. Is it something that you can solve? Number two, their issues are no bigger than the others, but they have this victim mentality. So everyone's against them, they're oversensitive over everything, they felt that every remark is directed at them, and they're hurt in their office, and they're demoralized. So if you once you can identify the difference, then you can find help for them. If it's the second category where they just have a victim mentality, then you get a coach in and help them see things through a different lens. Okay, so now they see things more positively, and once that's fixed, perhaps 3 sessions, maybe 5 sessions, and they come and say, no boss, it's a new me right now. I see things differently, so I'm ready to go. And this is how you handle the les miserables. So all the best for this group of people. Now this fifth group of people is called the resentful rebel. They display negative behaviors in the office, often very resentful. They express dissatisfaction over almost every minor policies. They're even easily irritated with their workplace, with their colleagues. They tend to accumulate grievances and even start to unload it on your team. And why are these people like that? Perhaps you hired your team based on competency, and during the interview, this character slips through. Okay, so you find, highly qualified, highly intelligent. You ask all the intelligent questions. This candidate really tick all the boxes. But when push comes to shove, they go onto the ground. You start seeing them becoming very hazardous in the workplace, creating lots of disharmony. So what are you going to do with such resentful rebel? This rebel requires lots of coaching and aligning their values and thoughts. Different type of coaching between this type and the les miserables. So these people need to understand the consequence of their actions, if they could improve. If there's anything, this group of people could be quite a cancer in your organization. So you have to decide, I don't know who you have in mind, but if you decide that this candidate is worth keeping, then no choice, you got to invest and try to make your organization work like a well-oiled machine. Bring some coaching on for these resentful rebel. Try to change their minds. And if it's not, then you've got to decide if you want to have this person in your team. And if it's not possible, and if you think that this person it's more suitable in another agency. I'm not sure in your country whether you're allowed to exchange consultants, a swap, or even a transfer. So by the way, I'm speaking of the tiny island of Singapore that's in Southeast Asia. So if this video is being watched across the world, I do apologize that I've got to speak it within the context of my familiarity. The last candidate I want to talk about is the distracted individual. Spoke to a few leaders. They say there's a large percentage of less performing consultants that are falling in this category. So these people have a side hustle, they're engaged in a second job, perhaps they're driving part-time as a private hire driver, or they have an online marketing system going on, making some money on the side. Frequently, they are very attracted to new opportunities or new ways of making money, and even could be pursuing different hobbies and get distracted from their main work. So for the financial part, you would need to understand whether this person actually needs the money and that's why they're having the side hustle. Are they driving so they can make a couple more bucks on the side, or they're just doing because they want to optimize? Okay, for me to own this car, if I drive one other passenger to the workplace, I could pay for the car. So you got to find the real reason. Okay. The second and more difficult reason to solve is that they are just hyperactive individuals that get bored easily in one career and one domain, so they entertain themselves by taking a side hustle and have multiple streams of income. Such a buzzword these days, right? Multiple streams of income. In either way, my approach would be this. If you have a side hustle, say let's take an easy example that they drive Uber. In our country, it's Grab. So you do part-time, 2-3 hours on Grab. You know, when you're driving part-time 2 or 3 hours, your mind space will be occupied with how much did I make today driving, the conversations I had with that passenger, when I need to service my car, do I need to fill up the tank, have I cleaned the car? So your head space is filled with such processes, when they should be focused on how do I become better as a financial advisor? What went wrong with my last sales call? How do I get better? What about the new products that has been released, and how do I spend more time getting familiar with it? So what I would prescribe to you is to teach them to be focused and fill their head space, their mind space with the career. Because anyone who commits 100% will likely achieve a higher result. And in the long run, the money will be better if they focus on one career. Okay, so there we have it, the 6 categories, and I hope you enjoy it. If you do, give a like and even forward this to your other leaders in your agency, and perhaps I will have the opportunity to see you in your country sometime. Bye bye.